Everyone, and welcome to my toolshed. I am Flo, the creator of Notis, and this is Office Hour, where every day I log in to answer users' question, help them with their onboarding, or work on a new project for Notis, being testing out a new workflow, integrating Notis to a new Notion template, or discussing about new features that we've released. So today we're gonna do something again a bit different. I'm trying a lot of different things this week while starting this live stream, and the idea is going to be integrating another second brain template than the one that you get for free with Notice. So when you are interested in Notice, when you sign up for Notice, there are basically two options for you. The first option is to go with the template that is provided by the developer. And basically, we're going to give you for free a full productivity system that helps you stay on top of things in your personal life and in your professional life. Let me show that to you right away. So let me share the right thing right now. There you go. So as you can see here, this is the Notice homepage. And basically, when you get there the first time, we talk about everything Notice, but you can click here and get access to the template that comes with Notice. It's called the Notice Second Brain System, and it contains everything a traditional second brain contains, and you get it for free. If you don't want to use Notice, just click that link and you can install it for free right there. And yeah, that's our gift. But it's been optimized to work with Notice. What I realized is that a lot of users miss the point that Notice can adapt to any template whatsoever. And there are many template creators out there in the Notion template store. And there are many also second brain templates that has been created by quite famous people like Islo, Thomas, to Notice. So try to contact him many times and never had any answer from him. So I'm really just going to go to his website, purchase his template, and yeah, make a review there while I'm there and integrate it with Notice so you can do it too. And yeah, so let's get started and let's see how it goes. This template creator is Thomas Frank, is one of the biggest template creator out there. Again, I'm no way affiliated to him. And we're going to use his second brain system. It's called the Ultimate Brain. Let me try to share my screen. I kind of screw up my setting before. Let's go over here and share my entire screen. That's going to be like this. And I'd like to find my way on the side of the screen. So there you go. You should see my screen right now. And so this is Thomas Frank website. If you don't know Thomas Frank yet, is a great source of Notion knowledge. I really enjoy his video on YouTube, especially. He has a great style, a great production quality, and overall is one of my favorite Notion creator for when it comes to as an educator, but also as a template creator. And so, good thing today we have a $50 off. So I'm definitely going to use this. Oop, there is a little problem with this. Yeah, if you know Thomas Frank, please tell him that he screwed up the design of his menu. This is not super, super useful. And so we're gonna get started with the new ultimate second brain 3.0, which is live with a ton of new features. So let's have a look at that website and let's try to understand what this ultimate brain is going to do for us. So for those who don't know, what we call a second brain in Notion or in other platforms is basically this idea of creating a productivity system where you can save everything about your life as a digital format. And I think this idea is getting more and more popular as we enter this era of AI. Why? Because we all have access to the best class AI LLMs out there. So we basically all have access to the same kind of free or nearly free intelligence. And so there is no really a way, like, sure, right now most people don't know how to use user AI, so there's definitely a way to create a competitive edge there. But as the general population kind of get more and more in tune and comfortable with using that technology, we're all going to have access to the same GPT-5, GPT-10, or whatever. And so what's going to make really a huge difference in terms of the tool we have access and the edge they give us is the ability to customize the context that they have to the context that is relevant to our life and to basically our skills, our specialties, and so on. So in the future, and in the very near future, and even right now, and Notis is a good example, you will want to connect those system and those AI agents to highly curated content that is unique to you, to train those model, or at least give them the context to do things the way you would do that and to push the bar even further. Otherwise, you will get access to the same model than everyone else has access. So it's not going to be the best place to have a competitive edge. So, based on that notion, um, then it would make sense to start developing that digital asset right away and start saving highly curated content relevant to you so you can start using it today. But as the models become more and more intelligent, and as the tool those models have access become more and more performant, then you'll be able to leverage that as a digital asset. So this second brain will become, in the future, I predict, one of your biggest digital asset or assets in general. So I think that's why more and more people are getting interested with that notion of second brain. Um, Historically, it was more in terms of productivity systems. So a lot of productivity nerds here, or people getting started with a productivity platform like Notion, needed a place to get started. And so we found that term second brain, where they can manage all aspects of their lives. So that gives you a little overview of what a second brain is, and if that might resonate or not with what you want to do and what you want to achieve. So again, today we're going to work with Thomas Frank's second brain. We're going to implement it. We're going to buy it first, try to understand how it works, and then we're going to implement it with Notis so we can delegate things to Notis to be done directly in that second brain instead of using the free Notis second brain system. So let's go back to the website and see how Thomas Frank pitched this. So one place for everything. Tired of juggling multiple apps to form your second brain? Want things to stop slipping through the cracks? Me Too Ultimate Brains lets you capture and organize everything inside Notion. Well, this is a good pitch for Notice as well. I'm gonna get inspired with this copywriting. Ultimate Second Brain come with the best task manager for Notion. Well, apart from Notice, letting you create subtask, recurring task, priority levels. If you want it, you can do advanced GTD. So for those who don't know, GTD is a productivity method, getting things done. That is very popular, like this other one, the Para system. The note dashboard lets you capture notes, favorite them, and organize them easily. You can also organize things in projects, and best of all, everything can seamlessly organize using the para organization method made famous by Tiago Forte. So Tiago Forte is another, or those yeah, I'd say Notion creator, but Tiago is not just a Notion creator, but he talks a lot about Notion as well. And is like a big proponent of those productivity system and second brain and the like of it. Yeah, building a second brain, and that's the book. I think Tiago is a bit more tool agnostic, which is very interesting. But maybe we do one day we try to find a template made by Tiago and we integrated with Notis instead of Thomas Frank. All right, so the the Thomas Frank template also have a quick capture. You can plan your day, manage your project, cut out the clutter, fully updated. So for those who don't know, updating a template is really a mess, not for the creator, but for the people buying it. I'm not sharing my screen, so this is not going to be very useful for you guys. So it's great. Basically the day you buy a template, you buy a template for life. You're never going to update it because it's really a mess to update a Notion template. So just so you know, find a good template and then forget about the updates because it's never going to happen. You have to move every single things. Notion has not made that easy. I don't know how they could make that easy in any way. So yeah, you template. There's also a lot of secondary templates like in CRM. There is a recurring task for, we can see here, lifting weight, for example. So for tracking, I think, habits and things like this. And it's built in para organization. So project area, resources, and archives. Very, very similar to what you would find in Notice as well, because in Notice you have project and areas and archives as well. And you have a bunch of bonus dashboards. You'll start simple, move fast, and oh, this is very interesting. Thomas is a huge, from what I heard from multiple users that I onboarded with Notice, has a huge community, very active, that talk a lot about his templates. And so I think that's a huge strength of for people that need this to feel comfortable getting on board with the productivity tool, having a supportive community. That's not my case. I created the Notice Second Brain system out of how I organize my life. I never needed a community behind me to tell me how I should organize it. But I understand that a lot of people are different and they need the extra boost and extra motivation, or the ability to talk with other people. One thing though you have to kind of keep in mind, and I see a lot of people losing track of this, is that productivity tools should make you more productive. They should not be a new way for you to procrastinate, falling in the rabbit hole of fine tuning everything in Notion and making it perfect and making beautiful dashboard and never getting any shit done. So yeah, it's cool to take a day to get started on the productivity system and understand how it works, but then it's time to do some real work. It's not, like, you shouldn't spend all your time refining your Notion. You should use Notion. It's a prosumer tool. It's not a new way to procrastinate. So that's something I see. And I tracked as well with Notice a lot of productivity nerds that are just interested in new productivity tools, but they will tend to procrastinate a lot. So that's something I always feel free to remind people, that those are things that are supposed to make us more productive, not things that are supposed to eat our time. So Thomas Frank template is one time $79 instead of 129, and you can have like the creator companion, which is another whole complete other template. I could make like another video next day for integrating it inside Notion, inside Notice. Today, we're just going to focus on this one. Has a bunch of review. Again, very, very big creator, has like millions and millions of followers on YouTube's and other platforms. So I'm, yeah, I'm not surprised of this huge wall of love. So let's get started. We're going to buy it. I am convinced, Thomas. You never reply to any of my email, but I am convinced I am going to give you $129 minus whatever discount. Is that discount that, yeah, it's already applied. Oh, wonderful. So I will have to pay $129. Let me just stop sharing my screen while I make that purchase so you guys don't steal my credit card. Already have 5 people watching. I would like to avoid you having a great weekend going shopping with your wife and my credit card. So let me go off screen while I do this. Gonna put that in the company credit card. Thank you, Notice. Okay, fun thing. My postal code is not correct. Apparently, it is correct. Thomas Frank, what are you using? This is Lemon, I think, payment provider. Good. Now I can share my screen. There you go, Thomas Frank. I bought my first Thomas Frank template. Thank you so much. The link below will give you access to my private circle community where you'll find your template download link as well as in-depth tutorial. If you already have a circle account, you'll be able to log in. So let's have a look at that community. I've heard many users, again, during their onboarding with me, tell us about their community experience here. So let's see. I do have a circle account. You've been invited to join Thomas Frank. Great, thank you. Let's get started. Start here. So let's have a cool. Wow, 35,000. I'd love to have that number of people using Notice right now. Please, people, just activate voice notes inside your Thomas Frank templates. You can come over. I'll create a circle for you. Or please, Thomas Frank, reply to my emails. Okay, start here. Ultimate Brain 3.0 is out. I'd love to hear Thomas Frank users their experience of updating a template. I think it's pretty impossible from what I was saying before, but I might be wrong. Maybe there is a secret ninja technique to do this. If you have a support issue, if you're a content creator and you'd like to upgrade to the fully integrated Ultimate Brain, okay, access the template here, access and duplicate your template. Here's the fully fledged out demo version of the template with example content. Learn how to use the template. I will not make you go through the entire video of how to use the template. I think that's very unfair. We're going to try to do it ourselves. No, I don't want to upgrade. I've just spent $80. That's enough. Why am I there? So access your template link here. Already on the bundle. No, I don't. Access and duplicate your templates. I have 2 neurons active. This is Friday. It's 6:30 here in Switzerland, in the Swiss mountain. I am tired. I've done 3 lives this week. I am ready for the weekend. But first, I will make Notice work with Thomas Frank template. Let's start with this template. I'm gonna save this in my main Notion. Welcome to my main Notion, where we just installed, no, we're just copying the big Thomas Frank second brain template, which we're gonna first explore and review and then connect to Notice so we can have a spin with it and we can see how it goes. It's a big template, takes time to duplicate. So bear with me here. While we wait for this, let me show you the Notice second brain system. So it's fresh in your mind and we can compare it with the structure of Thomas Frank template. So the Notice second brain system is based on the same kind of ideas. It's simplified because I like simple things, straight to the point. So you'll have your areas. This is how you spend your life. This is how you split your time in your life. So personal work, I have much more of those. If you look at mine briefly, I have all of those things. And you'll have your projects and your tasks. Let me change the resolution of that screen. I'm trying to make things bigger for you guys, but it's kind of a pain to navigate like this. All right. So we have the projects, the tasks, and yeah, the Notice second brain system has this particularity that you have everything in one page and you can open in things and close those little tabs. And so you have your notes. Those are everything, notes and documents, everything that you write yourself. Content planner is everything that is for the outside world. So blog posts, social media, and so on. You have your bookmarks. Those are everything, the documents that are written by other people. You can use the Notion web clipper to capture them. You have meeting minutes that I connect with Granola, as you can see here. Features and bug tracker is more for the product owner, product manager of this world. And you have a personal CRM. It's all very basic, but from what I've seen, a lot of our users, they start with this and they stick with it because it's simple, it's straight to the point, and it's free. So we'll see. One thing that I'm always worried with those template creator is that, are they adding complexity to justify the price of those template instead of simplifying things, so they're straight to the point, but then they would feel uncomfortable charging 80 or $130 for this. So there's a bit of a conflict of interest here, I think. So welcome to Ultimate Brain. So what we can see here straight away is we have a task database. Great. With a lot of different useful view. The 2-day view that it's going to be filtered. Let's get crazy on the tasks that are due today. We have an inbox where we're gonna put things by default before we have time to sort them out. We're not going to use this so much because Notice is going to act as our inbox and put things in the right place right away. And then we have like a week view, a monthly view, a schedule view, and the tasks that are not due. All right. Then we have our notes, we have our projects, we have a little board for our projects. This is a Kanban board where we can move our projects from plan to doing. So at first, I like to use this. I'm very surprised, and there is apparent level of simplicity when you open it. I'd say even more than in the Notice second brain system, to be honest. So yeah, good job making this look very simple at first glance. So we have a little nav here where we have different shortcuts. So we have a shortcut to create a new task, a new note, a new project. We have different views. Let's see where they bring us. This is a view for quick capture. Okay, there's just a quick task and note inbox. Very nice, very clean. Then those are the links to our database, I'd suppose. They're, yeah, like this is a task based that page that contain our task database and views from our project. Very convenient as well. I love this. Mm, and he has done this for all the things, all the items, if you want, of that template. So the project, the tags, the goals. I'm interested in the goals. Goals, you don't have that in Notice. I have simplified this. We're gonna put some content there after. All right, and then we have advanced view. So people, books. Okay, books is an advanced view. Okay, let's see the advanced view. I am reading 10 Step of Earning Awesome Grades. Great. By Thomas Frank. I didn't know he wrote book. Great. Good to know. Good for you, Thomas. That's great. I love the idea of having books and specialized database. I want to include more of those specialized database in the Notice Second Brain system. And we have recipes, my day, my week, my okay, and process. This is for the advanced getting thing done. Okay, let's see if we get a bit of tutorial here. Welcome to the Ultimate Brain. This template is complete productivity system, second brain for Notion. It forms a true all-in-one. Add Ultimate Brain to your Notion workspace. We've done that. Great. Start organizing your life with Ultimate Brain. We're going to do this. Ultimate Brain is packed with powerful features, sorry, but it's also simple to start using right away. In fact, you can start managing your task, taking notes, and organizing things without ever leaving this homepage. I love this. Check out this guide to learn how to get up and to get up, okay, and running quickly. And join our community. Yeah, maybe we'll post something on the community later on. Let's just open this little tutorial. For those who don't know the quality, the production quality of Thomas Frank, let me show you. It's really, we're going to do something that I hate my users do. We're not going to read the user guide. We're just going to go with it because, well, most people will do that anyway. They weren't not going to read that much text, but I love it. I love that there is this documentation. This is something that I've been procrastinating so much to do with Notice. That is actually my goal for this month, is to get a documentation as good as this before the end of the month. I might be dreaming a bit, but this is definitely, yeah, it's a great job to, you know, empower people with that much content when they get started doing anything. So let's start using it. I think without further ado, the best thing when you install something like this is just to try to put content and see where you struggle and then go and find your information. So we're going to start creating a few tasks. And yeah, we see that we have like a different templates here. We're going to use the project templates. And ooh, that is interesting here. So those are okay. Let's see this. I am very curious about this because as you can see here, I've just created a new project and I have status. I have a different field. So let's say that I need to finish this by the 15th of August. Those are formula. We have tags that are relations to the tag database that is empty. So for now, um, we don't have anything in the relation. That's normal. Let's see how we use the tag. The tag with which the project is associated, this relation property connects the project relation property in the tag database. It's typically best to associate project with tags that have a type of area and have the area database template applied. Okay, so I just have areas, and here you have tags, and tags can be areas. So that's a little bit more complex, but I guess what you can do with this. So in the project, we have this little navigation item, and then we have a task database. Let's try to create things. What I'm very curious here is if those databases are actually nested inside the project, which would be a big problem for Notice. Let's see that. This is integrates this template with Notice. This is due today. Okay, and we can create relations with a subtask and parent task, and also things in our CRM. So if I want to create a new item in this CRM, I can just say this is going to be linked to Florian Parizet, and we're going to have a new item created automatically from there. Okay, and we're going to create a new note as well. Where we're going to store the link to the Thomas Frank ultimate template documentation. All right. So here we are. We are in our project database. We've created this new project that we have not named correctly. We've created a task. And that's it. So let's go back to that homepage to see how things are presented. So we have our task here, we have our note here, and we have our project here. So that is super interesting. So what it tells me here is that when you open this task, and when you open this project, while those are presented as database, nested database, they're actually the same database, the same test database used by all projects. And that's how it should work. You should never, I mean, some people do it, but it would not work with Notice if you start nesting database inside a page. So if I do something like this, for example, I create like a project page inside, I create an inline database that is called projects. And then I create a new entry here. And in that entry, if I create a new inline database called tasks, then I have this nested structure. And that means that this task database is not going to be shared by all the projects. So this is not the way to do it. And I've seen Thomas doing a tutorial a while back on creating database views that you can nest inside those page while retaining the fact that they're shared between all entries. And I don't know how to use it yet. So this is very interesting because it's not something that is integrated inside the Notice Second Brain system. So if we go back to it, and this is going to be a critic of my work here, if we go back to, we're going to keep this open so we can compare. If we go back to this, when you open a project like this, you don't get a view of the tasks apart from there in the relations. So when tasks are added as a relation, like if here I start linking task, they will appear like this. This is the old way of doing this. And there is a new way of doing this, which is what we see here. We're opening a project and we see those as if they were nested database, but they're not nested. They're task database that are the same level as the project database and that's been linked, and we can see it this way. And this is super nice and something that I should integrate as well in the Notice Second Brain system. I didn't catch up yet with that new feature. I think it's a few months old, and I've never seen it in action in templates. And I guess that's why the big ultimate update was also about. So yeah, let's keep digging. The good news with that is that it's going to stay. A task database that is not nested inside. We're going to be able to connect those with Notice very easily. Well, like if Notion was not confusing enough, now we have these different things. If you have any questions, guys, just put it in the chat and I'll make sure to address it as I go during that review of that Thomas Frank Ultimate Template Productivity System. So, one thing we could do just to get a sense of that template that I want to show you is this. So this is the sidebar. I have, because I like to put all my things at the top level. Yeah, that's not a really good habit, but I like it. It's particularly long, so I have to open this little thing. But what you can see here is that this is Ease template. It's very well organized. And what we can see here, we see those different pages. And when you open those pages, we can see like those different items inside the pages. What is very, very confusing with Notion, I always found, is like you never know in that bar if those things, they're database or they're views or there's something else. So if you open the task here, those are views, okay? And if you look at here, task inbox today, etc. Okay, inbox today, etc. Those are views. Okay, so it's quite confusing to say the least to just look at this sidebar and understand what is what. And it's very simple with Notice of the Notice second brain. Let's open it here. It's a bit less fancy, but is also, I think, a bit easier to um, see where we are. So this is an area database, for example, and those are the view. That's it. There's no more level. Okay, it's very straightforward. And yeah, I'm talking about my church here, but I like to try to simplify those things as much as possible. But let's get going. We've created a task in our project. Let's open that project. I really like that view. I cannot get over this. I want to get this done as soon as possible in the Notice second brain system. I think it just make more sense to be able to open your project, put them in full screen like this, and have just the task of your project instead of the old way of doing that in Notion that we use with the Notice second brain system, where you have to create view to do this. So, like if I compare this again, yeah, here I created a view that organized my task by areas. I could have done that by project. And I have no way to open that project and just see the task of that project in a way as visual as that. It will just list the things for me, like here. It's not really pretty. That's not a screen that I want to work for. So this is really the way to go, and I'm going to make sure to use that new Notion feature inside the Notice second brain system. So now we have those tasks. Let's have a look at those database. Um, so like this is the view. It has opened the view. How can I look at the real database? Here we have the source. Okay. How do I go to the source? You could think that I could find this right away after the amount of hours I've spent on Notion, but I cannot. Let's go back up. open this. This is the link. And this opens just a view. I don't want a view. I want the original database. I feel very stupid right now. I hope you guys can relate when you don't understand anything what's going on in Notion. I have less and less of those moments, but right now I'm feeling very stupid. Oh, those link. Maybe this link doesn't work. Oopsie. Yeah, so so for you to understand my confusion here, the way this works in Notice is you just click the task. This is the task database, and yeah, there is you cannot get lost. Here, I am navigating inside this second brain template. I am going right to the task here. And so I expect the same kind of behavior. Open it, but this is a view. And because it's a view, there is not the description field here. So what I'm trying to do here is access this. This is the source of the database. So, and we cannot see the full path. Okay, great. This is annoying. Let's search for it. Thank you, Google. Click on the view's name and then select open as page or similar in the menu. Okay, we're gonna try this one more minute, and then if that doesn't work, we're gonna find another database we can play with in that template if we manage to find one. Open source database. This is their sorry. So this is the original database. Um, and um, and this is what we need to find in order to configure Notice to work with that second brain template. And so basically all we have to do is going to make sure that those description and those names are correct for Notice to understand how to use them. But what we can do to get us started is we can just connect right out of the bat or template here to Notice, and then check out how Notice does out of the bat without any configuration whatsoever. So what I'm going to do here off camera is I'm going to open Telegram, make sure everything is presented correctly for you guys. Open Notice, there you go. And we're going to make it a nice view so you guys can follow here what I'm doing. And so if you are a Thomas Frank customer, or if you want to become a Thomas Frank customer, but you also want to start using Notice with it, then you're going to see how to do this on your own. So yeah, so on the left side, there is my Telegram with Notice. And on the right side, we have um, or Notion workspace right there. And so to get started, I am just going to give access to another part of my Notion workspace to Notice. So I'm going to open my portal with the portal command. If you're using WhatsApp, you can just ask Notice the link to your portal. And we're going to open this. I feel more comfortable right now. I'm in my own UI. And right now, synced are all the database I have in my Notice second brain system and at different levels of my database. So we're going to completely erase all of this by giving access to another part of my workspace to Notice. And to do this, we're going to click next. And instead of installing the template provided by the developer, which is again, if you haven't understood yet, Notice, we're going to select the page to share with Notice. We're going to go in our private workspace and we're going to remove all of this, deselect all, and we're going to select Thomas Frank template and click allow access. And it's going to take a few minutes. It shouldn't take 5 minutes. We're going to go back to the portal to see how Notice does. It takes some time for the Notion API to give us access to the list of database, new database, especially when the project is quite heavy like this. But yeah, in a few minutes, we should be good. While we're there, I'm going to try and understand where he hit those original database. So we have the section called database and components. Okay, cool. Let's see here if I can find it from that menu. Oh, it's at the end here, database and components. It's very well organized, all in red to understand the difference with them. I like how this guy organized thing. It's really, really, really clean. So yeah, it's even explained here. All the Ultimate Brains database are collected here. This consolidate them into a single place, ensuring easy access. All those databases are logged by default. This prevents unintentional, accidental change to the structure of each database, such as property deletions. If you need to edit the database, add an option to a select or status property and log the database first. Yeah, if you use Notion, chances are that you want the flexibility to change things around. So I think it's smart to get them locked, but people would want to customize things and make it their own quite quickly. And that's also why it's a nightmare to update those templates once you've installed and put content into it, because basically you're forking for the one that are a bit more technical watching. You're forking the templates you as you would do in GitHub, and then it evolves, its structures change, the way things are related change, and then you want to update it to something that changed in another way, and there's no easy way to do this. So it's really, really a pain again. But what we can see here is we're gonna likely see all those database being synced with Notice, and we're going to be able to personalize how we want Notice to use those database by simply going inside each of those database and changing the description. Because right now we can see the description is not going to be very useful for Notice. This is a primary source database for all books. All your books are contained in this database, this book view. Through the template are linked. So it's more like a human description, which is great. Notice is going to enjoy this, but it's not going to make it customized to how you want to use that database. So we'll want to update this at some points. Let's see if Notice has indexed this templates. Yeah, there you go. So we can find all those templates. So let's see if they are here. We have task. We have, where do we have projects? We have project. We have work sessions. Okay, they're all here. And you can see the little information. If you click on this, this is the description that is here. So if I'm opening the task database, Oops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. If I'm opening it here, and then I open it here as well. There you go. You can see that description here is the same description here. And those are instructions for Notice. For those who don't know how this works yet, this is how you add your instructions to Notice to how you want those database. And this is a super, super powerful paradigm for creating AI agent. It effectively turned any Notion database and therefore any Notion template into its own AI agent, because you can put all your instructions there, and those can be formatting, but they can be also actions. Like, for example, if I take this blog database, this database here called books, and I want that every time I create a new entry here, oh, this is locked. How do I unlock things? How do I unlock things? I've never locked a database for user. My God, lock here. Unlock this for me. Okay, I think we're safe. So I can change the description and I can say here, for example, hey, for every new book, can you perform a web search to gather the correct information about the book? And what it will do there is every time I ask Notice to add a book in my book list, we can see those are all the different properties in that book list. And what Notice is going to do, no, here are the properties, by the way. What Notice is going to do is going to do a web search for that book, and it's going to try to complete all those fields for me. And I just created that very powerful automation by adding a single line of text. So this is why those descriptions database are so powerful, like, or at least the way of doing things this way is so powerful with Notice. Okay, so we have Notice that has access to our second brain. We have made zero configuration. I've been there live for how long? How long have I been live? I have no idea where I see that. For 52 minutes. And basically those 2 minutes was 50 minutes trying to understand that ultimate second brain template from Thomas Frank. And I haven't opened the documentation yet, but basically try and understand the structure. It's very well structured, it's very well organized. Don't make me say something that I haven't said. 5 minutes was about just opening the portal, connecting Notice, waiting for it to sync, and it's ready. It's working. I'm pretty sure it's working. So let's test it. So on the left again, we have my Telegram, and we're gonna try to do something very basic. We're gonna try to create a new task. Can you create a new task that should be about making an actual demo of how you can use Notice with the Thomas Frank Notion template right out of the bat? So don't worry about this. This is an automatic message that you receive 5 minutes after starting the synchronization of your database with what's the updates and then the link to that portal. Hmm. Oh, there was a problem here. There's no audio here. Oh, there's a little problem with my microphone. Okay, let's I think it's just my live stream setup that is not compatible with recording voice message right now. Let's just while we figure this out, let's just ask Notice with text. Can you create a new task that says Thomas Frank template? Let's send this. While we do this, let's see if I can fix that audio issue. Call setting, input device. That should be using my MacBook microphone. Maybe we'll have a bit more chance with this later on. I don't know if that's here. There you go. Okay, so we got an answer from Notice. Here's our new task. And as you can see it, look, Notice has created that task in our Thomas Frank template in the right database. And it's there, all right? So now this is a very basic example. Now we want Notice to be able to use our project. So let's first create a project with Notice. Let's see if the recording works right now with my setup. Hey, can you create a new project that I should update the Notice second brain system? So it includes database views inside projects and inside areas. Mm, no, there's still a little problem with the audio received by Telegram. So this is not going to work. Let's do it like this. Can you create a new project to add database view inside the Notice second brain template like Thomas Frank is doing? This is really annoying, that not being able to record voice message. Let's see if I can at least use Whisper Flow right now. This is just a test. No, Whisper Flow is not receiving anything. Okay. This is just a test. Yeah, there's a little problem with my mic here. We'll have to do is test. Even Whisper Flow doesn't receive anything. But yeah, like if you're a Notice user, like the whole point is being able to use your voice. Oh, I can use my phone today to send message to Telegram. That's since they sync, we're gonna do this with my phone. Because yeah, of course, if you're using Notice, it's to do all of this on the go. It's not to do this on your computer. I think more and more I started to use Notice on my computer because it allows me to stay in the flow while I'm doing something. I start thinking about some tasks, so I just open Telegram here, or I have also this Recast extension for Notice. So when I do Notice, and I can send a message to Notice right away here, and this allows me not to open, Notion, navigate in a place in that second brain template, create a new task, and blah blah blah. And it's a much better way to stay in the flow. So it's the whole point is to use your voice, basically. That's what I want to say. Okay, a new project was created. So again, let's open it here. It has created that new project. Let's go on the dashboard so we can see things appearing here. So add database view. Why is it not showing? It's not active. Okay. So it's plan. We should. Okay. So let's test something. Oh, I said I would do it with my phone. Can you make it as active, please? So I'm going to show you how Notice can update anything in your Notion workspace. So right now we're just asked Notice to change this little status here to active, basically, no matter what it means. I suppose it will choose ongoing or something like this. So yeah, that's the whole point of it, is like you send something, you fire and forget, and then you go do something else. Like if you're in front of your computer like I am right now with Notion open, it doesn't make any sense to delegate things to your AI intern with your voice. Of course, I'm making those demo because we're on a live and it's more comfortable to see my desktop screen. Maybe I should try to show you my phone screen. Maybe the next live I will do it entirely on my phone screen. But yeah, the whole point is to be able to do this on your phone while you're in the car driving, doing some sport or something like this, and you have all those ideas and stuff in your mind and you just want to dump them. And so like here it's just updated where it's the project is now doing. And so if I'm not wrong, if I understand how this template works, then if I go to the active view now, our project is marked as ongoing. And you can see here the little icon here when items are created by Notis. Notis will put his own little icon so you can quickly retrieve in your template what has been created by Notis and what has been created by yourself or by a template. There is a limitation here though that I want to highlight that I'm not going to use in that great template, is the ability to use templates. Okay, this is very confusing. There is Notion templates, and then there is templates for database. So when you create a new item in a database, you can use that little arrow here to create or select a template. So empty is nothing, okay? And this is the one that Thomas Frank has set as default, and he has created another one. There's one from project and one for a research project. So let's have a look at those. Like if I create a project, you can see it comes with all of this here. Okay. And if I had created research project, then it would come with another set of predefined items. Did I ever complain that Notion is slow? Did you ever complain that Notion is slow? I'm sure the guys at Notion, they can't hear that anymore. Yeah, that's a bit annoying when those kind of things happen. Okay, and you can see it's a different template. You cannot use that with Notice, and it's not a limitation of. I mean, it's a limitation of the Notice product, but not one that I can change because it's simply not exposed through the Notion API. I don't get access to those templates, and I cannot create new entry based those templates, even the default one, which is such a shame because that would enable to use so much more features with Notion with Notice. So when I create here a template, you can see that it can create the content of the document as a markdown, but it cannot create those beautiful views that I was so fan of before. So that's a problem. So like creating the project here with Notice using that second brain template, I think it's kind of a missed opportunity because if I created this way using Thomas Frank on way, so if I just click new page, it creates like a new project with the template, and then I say, uh, updates the Notice second brain template with those fancy views below. I have this little thing, and I think it's super nice. So I'm sorry, guys. This is a limitation. You have to be aware of it. You cannot do this. But for example, if you open here the task, let's see how he set this up. Here the template is not really useful. It's just a set of link. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna try to tell Notice to link some task to a project. Okay, so we're going to delete those, and we might confuse it a bit with everything we've moved right now. But yeah, let's just try it. hey, can you create a new task to review how those template view work in database and link it to the project called update Notis second brain. And here I'm going to cheat just a tiny bit because I don't want to ruin my demo and have to explain that to you. I'm just going to name it correctly. Normally, if Notice has time to index everything, I wouldn't need to do this, but I want to try to avoid the demo effect as much as possible. So I'm just cheating and giving it the actual name. Of course, you're not expected to know by heart the name of all your project and to spell them correctly. Notice is smart enough to query when creating a new task to go on and query that project database and make sure that it find the right item and then link it with it. So this is a place where I had to put quite a lot of work, was because we all have different Notion workspace, and because those Notion workspace are full of relations, so all those databases, they're linked with each other's. Basically, anytime you create a task and link it or choose a relation that is a project, then you have to query that project, find the correct one, and link it with it. And you do exactly the same when you create a task yourself. If I click here, I create a task myself and I open this, I can select the project here. And this is basically just a query in that project database. I can search or I can create new ones. Notice has to do exactly the same thing. So whenever you create a new task, it has to find that this project field is linked to that project database. It has to query that project database, find the correct item, and link it with it. So this is exactly what's happening behind the scenes right now. And let's click here, and we can see that Notice has created that new task and found the right project. Yoo-hoo! And associated with it. So it's working. Great. So yeah, just let's step back a bit. I think I just got my first comment. Play move. You got this. Thank you, guy. Um, so what we did today is I spent $90 of my own money to buy Thomas Frank templates. I installed it. I kind of get a sense of how it's been organized. My take is it's super clean. It's we can see that Thomas Frank is a real pro when it comes to using Notion. There's a lot of tricks that I can learn from him. But we also gave access to Notice to this template, and right off the bat, it worked. So if you're interested into delegating your stuff to your own AI intern with access to your Notion workspace, an AI intern that understand your voice through voice message, understand text, understand images that you send via WhatsApp or Telegram, has access to a bunch of tools such as deep search, web search, text to speech, transcription, sending you emails, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch. But you don't want to use the Notice second brain system, please don't. Please don't. I am no way, and I don't pretend to be a professional template creator like Thomas Frank, Islo, and Tago Forte and the likes. I'm just a guy that is pretty good at creating AI agents and try to make real productivity gain for people. So please don't use the Notice second brain system. Go purchase one of those super fancy premium templates and just connect it with Notice. And this way you can just delegate your mind to your own personal AI assistant. And that means basically dumping everything that you're trying to hold in your mind. I like this phrase from the writer behind the GTD methodology, that your brain is made for having ideas, not made for holding to them. And you can't imagine the amount of stress that I don't feel anymore every day by just dumping my mind. And when I say my mind, my task, my ideas and stuff inside Notice. So I'm not trying desperately and unconsciously to hold to them until I get in front of my computer. So give yourself a favor. Just connect whatever templates you want to use with Notice, connect it with Notice, and start dumping your brain there, and just feel the stress relief. Even before feeling any kind of productivity gain, this is going to be something that is going to be worth the $20 that you pay Notice every month. Yeah, that's my take on this. I think we're already an hour and 10. There's 14 people watching. Thank you for joining. This live is going to be up on YouTube, Instagram, X, and so you can rewatch it anytime. I think it's enough to see how you can connect things to any template, Notice to any template. And yeah, we might take another live to spend a bit more time exploring this Thomas Frank template that I really like how it's presented. I'm going to make sure to try to become a bit better at it and explore his own community. What I really like, as I mentioned before, is this circle community full of productivity nerd, I'm sure, to help you on your journey. And so, yeah, kudos to Thomas Frank for building this huge community of people, huge support behind that template. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check out his website. Again, I am in no way affiliated to him. For the one that joined, I've tried to send him many, many emails. I've tried to reach on X. He never dared to reply to me. So unfortunately, I'd love to work with the guy, but it's high quality content. It's high quality content, and it works great with Notice. So I think it makes sense if you're interested in delegating your stuff to your own AI intern while having the best of the templates. Uh, if you're interested in other creators like this, check out Islo, very famous. It's the number one template creator in terms of revenue on the platform. And I don't know if Thiago Forte actually do Notion templates or just write book about productivity system. Yeah, Notion template, the official Second Brain template. So maybe next time we invest $49 of my own money to install the Tago 40 and configure it for Notice and go a bit the same way. All right, that sounds like a good plan, and we might do a little comparison about how the Tago 40 template works against Islo and Thomas Frank. And just to make it fair for everyone, this is the Islo Second Brain. It's $79 here. So yeah, Tiago Forte is 49, Islo is 79, and Thomas Frank is 79 right now. That gives you a sense of the pricing of all of them. And the Notice Second Brain system is free, no matter if you want to install Notice or not. It's available on our website. If you haven't seen there and you've joined, just go on the Notice website, and that's not what I want to do. And scroll there in that section, and you can select any of those, and you will access to the Notice Second Brain system. And you can just duplicate this and use this to organize your own life. It's exactly the same system that I use to organize my own life. Thank you for joining. I saw quite a bit more people today than yesterday, which is very encouraging. You're 14 right now watching. I started the week with 3, I think, so it's a nice bump. I hope this was interesting. Thank you for staying with me for a bit more than an hour to check how you can integrate any template directly into Notice. And I'll try to come up with more different innovative idea of for those live stream. And until next time, have a great weekend. And I see you Monday for the office hour. Oh yeah, before I leave you, if you guys want to join the show, it's very, 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 very easy. I'm going to open a web page to you. You just go office dash hours dot notice that AI like this. I'm gonna put that here. And yeah, you can select which dates you want to join. You can see how long before this. You can add it to your calendar, and I know how many people are going to join. And basically, you just join me on the live stream and we discuss one of your problematic. It could be a workflow that you would like to explore, automating with Notice. It could be helping you with your onboarding, connecting Notice to your own second brain system, pretty much anything. Just join me live. Let's have a good conversation. I had many of those conversations in the last few months, onboarding personally every of our paid users in Notice. So I had over 150 onboarding call. So yeah, please feel free to throw things at me. And if you don't feel joining one of those live and you still want to interact, there is a great way to do this. In the comment below when this is published, or even right now, challenge me to do something with Notice. Not coffee, but challenge me to integrate Notice or automatize a workflow with Notice, and I'll pick up the best ideas and I'll try to do this live here on the show, even if I fail miserably doing those. I think all of those are great opportunity to understand what the product should do, and to give me idea in terms of product roadmap, how to push the boundary into making the best personal assistant or best intern, at least with access to your Notion workspace. Thanks again for joining. Have a great weekend and see you soon in my tool.